All right, let's call the meeting to order for January the 26th. Thanks for coming, everyone. Here we got morning, so we'll get started on our agenda here. First order of business, of course, is to approve the minutes from our last meeting on November 24th, the new meeting in December. Teresa had been sick and she did not get the minutes out to everybody. So council, I guess we can just do that next meeting. This minutes for this meeting also.
That's right.
November. Okay, public session is the first item on our agenda. Is anybody here from the public who wants to speak to the following members? Being no one here from the public, we'll go on down to, I guess Jimmy's on his way. He called a little bit ago, said he's in Billsburg. He'll be about 5-10 minutes late, so he's not here yet. So we'll skip that item and go down to agenda item number 6, kiosk advertising report. Mr. Jenkins would be so gracious to address that issue for us. We appreciate the work you've done on this.
Oh, we're up and running on the kiosk.
Great.
It's not installed, but we are. We contracted the 5 Media Works to do the content, and the EDC has actually purchased that hardware.
Good.
So, hopefully we'll be up and running sometime. There. The way it works is actually the EDC pay for the hardware, and the sponsors will actually pay for the content.
Are you taking the clients here?
Yeah, actually there are clients who send out an e-blast to everyone on our list. If you know of anybody wanting to participate, just send it my way. It's initials $350. That's $150 a year.
That's very reasonable. How much are they at all?
I'll send you the email. And also talking possibly about expanding that in other locations, but we didn't want to make promises we couldn't keep right now.
We're talking with the bands or anything?
Yeah, we talked about chambers, and talked to several business actually, several in Highlands, and down here.
Most of the girls stay there.
Real estate, restaurants, accommodations, mostly. One builder, I think. So, sort of, and some shopping.
That's good. I think it'd be a success. I really do. Again, thanks, Tommy, for working. I know it's been ahead.
It's sort of been convoluted to get started, but good thing about it is the content will be remote too. They can do it. And they don't come down here and reload stuff. The content should stay fairly fresh.
All right, thank you so much for getting that up to where it's at now. I know it's going to be an asset, I think, to our port here and also to the businesses here. And Howland, I guess, would be tapping into this too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's back up here. We'll look on the agenda items here. Construction lights report. Pete, you've been working on that and faithfully for the last year and a half. So.
Yeah, it's kind of slow on the But we did get a word from Duke Power that they also put the line back in the ridge out here, back up, Jimmy Rogers. They came with permit, so they got that done. As soon as they put the line back up, then Eric, with the electrical contractor, he's ordered that line, so he put it right back in. And I'm not sure how much funding we got left for these other, the other three, that are turbos and solar panels. They're obsolete is what we've got up there. And what they want to do is look into, he wants to look into new solar panels with the new lighting system. So, he's going to, after he finishes this one, he's going to focus back on this one, once we find out how much money we got. So I don't know how much money's in that account. We burned quite a bit of it on this side, and we lost it there. So, but there's more money out there, really, if you, will be available this summer. So Vision 100 money will be available then. So might be
We still got some, I was hoping, Teresa.
Yeah, that's
Could be
right.
here and she can tell us how much money we got left in
She's
last year's.
And I think we had originally 24,000. And we had about 18,000 already. By the time we do that out there, we
The
know
Lord
we
couldn't
got
make
money.
it to our meeting either.
Yeah, I thought she might be here also. But anyway, that's where we
Sounds
stand
good.
on the lights, the obstruction of the beacon up here. We've got some complaints on it being too low in people's houses, but I don't know what you do with it because it's not made to, I mean, if you raise it up on one end, it's gonna be, it's level, where it's always been.
But that in Northing's so long, people aren't using it.
Well, I'm saying they can shoot it out, you know.
There's
That's-
probably been a house or two built
That'd be
since
a
it
good
water.
There, so.
And the power company may end up going back and pulling lines back up. They're not sure about that. If they pull the lines back up there, then we might, and they're willing to do it, they said. But proof's in the pudding, you know, once you get this one done, because they said those lines are down in the wood, and apparently, what I understand, and don't hold me to this, because I haven't talked directly with Duke Power, but Eric talked to me, he said, they may be responsible for those lines. They may have put those lines up. And if they did, then they'll put them back up. He said they'll come in, clear it out, and do the whole nine yards. So we'll be back on paying for it with the power.
Okay, you say they're willing to do it,
What I understand,
How
on
can we-
the turbos,
help move that project along and get them.
well, they've got it on the radar now, going there. They're gonna do this one up here, then they're gonna have things work out, you know, right now, you know, probably not a good time to be asking this one. But I'm sure when weather breaks, the lines are down, and they know they're down, so they're gonna have to get them back up again. If they're lines, I didn't know they're lines. We thought the meter was where, they told us the meter's where they stopped. But apparently they only put the meter down there so they could read it. So that would be good if that's what they're saying. Everybody understand it? That's not your house on fire. You have to work at the leisure of the power company right now. They're working on, this one up here, so, well, the snow came, so.
So let me get this straight, Pete. The question is, if it's the Duke line or not, and we're working at the leisure of Duke, and Duke's gonna be the one to make the decision.
But I mean, they.
I'd be surprised if this turns out right.
I was surprised that this turned out right out here, and that's what I said. I said, what do you think about the other ones? They said, well, they said the lines may be there, and they're willing to do it. So I said, hey, if they're willing to do it, because they'd have to take a clearing company to go in there and clear that out again. It's a big job. We're not talking about something that's, because I walked the lines, and they're all down, trees are down, lines on the ground. So it's on, the right of way's got to be cleared once again. Of course, it's been 30 years since it was cleared. So,
I think it might be good to get a time frame.
well,
on what you're talking about. If you cannot, you know, we don't make.
well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, there's no time while they're doing the snow. They're still,
Well, I mean, this snow's gonna be gone here
Well,
if it's raining.
exactly, next month, things probably clear up a little bit, find out what their plan is here. Because I don't wanna rush them up on that one until we get that one done, because that's the purpose. And then apparently they're willing to work with us.
Well, that's good news.
So that's all I can tell you right now.
Well, we appreciate that information, Pete. We appreciate the work you've done on it. You've worked hard trying to get,
At least I think,
we're gaining ground.
I think the power company is positive about getting fixed.
Good, good. We're holding through that.
That was before the snow. It's a different long snow.
Jimmy, good to see you. Happy New Year, sir. Hadn't seen you since last year.
Yep.
And guess what? You're up.
Okay. I'll have too much of an update. You've seen some correspondence back and forth. We submitted the grant documents to the OA. Unfortunately, the grant lady, while Laurie Hunter's out with a little bit of surgery, so she'll be out for probably a couple of weeks, I understand. Once that gets in the works, she should be getting the grant back to the county for signature, and once that happens, we plan to advertise the taxiway project. So we're
Good.
looking at that maybe the end of February, 1st of March.
Good.
The photogrammetry has been flown and developed for the airport layout plan. Our ground survey crews got to get out here and set panels and get the ground information so they can get that mapping. That should be done. The mapping part hopefully will be finished here by the end of March, maybe the 1st of April. Those guys were scheduled to get out here till the weather, so I anticipate they'll be out here next week to get that part done. Kind of all we got. Those are the two projects we got coming up, will be the taxiway. And you've also seen we've updated the Partner Connect with a couple of projects that we're going to see out here.
Teresa's been working on that. So that's good.
Oil prices down, hopefully we'll get some good bids on the taxiway.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
On the taxiway, I mentioned it, we had to redesign and widen the taxiway connectors, the fillets as they call them. At that time, the OA was trying not to, if you will, adhere to the regulation or the policy that they had to eliminate direct access from the ramp to the runways. ADO in Memphis came down a couple weeks ago and niched that everywhere, so it is a mandate, and we will have to address that. It's not addressed right now in our documents, but we're going to bid them and see where we are. But we're going to have to sever the direct connection from the apron to the runway and build another connector a little bit further down. So it's just what's got to happen. You got to have a zigzag, as they call it in there now. At every airport. It affects every airport. Most of the GA airports always have direct access.
That's not gonna increase the cost of it.
I hope not. We've got another connector planned at the end, and we took out that angled connector. If worst case scenario is seeing what the bids are, we just don't build that one back. We build another one down here. We'll see that back there as we get the bid prices down.
Have you
Pretty much got to cut out a pavement box. We'll have to cut out a pavement box, put stone down and new pavement, and just to that distance between the apron and the parallel cut to it.
And that includes the taxiway lights.
Yeah. The lights being
So all of them will be LEDs down there. So we've got several taxiway lights out in the Neal. And I noticed last spring we had some out too.
So that'll be a whole new taxiway lighting system, so you'll have LEDs on the runway and the back.
Does that include the box out here too?
There will be some vault work. I'm trying to get Andrew Foles, the new guy that took Basil's place, to look at the vault building itself, because I anticipate that.
And you got him up to speed pretty much on
So far,
grants and-
yes, sir.
Okay, good. He's gonna be up here in February, instead he called me.
That's good.
He called me, Friday. So he's gonna plan to be up here.
Who's that?
The new guy took Basil's place.
Andrew Foles,
Andrew Foles.
LZ.
Sure.
I got two questions on this. One, we've got two connectors on the runway up there. We've got the one on the far end and then one right there. If it's going to be more money, really, you've really got enough connectors anyhow, just eliminate one of them, couldn't you, without a whole lot of problem.
That would be something that you as an airport authority.
You've got two on that end, you've got one on this end, and I mean, if it's going to be a whole lot, I don't see where you'd even need another connector.
But we've got one in the bid package, whether it goes up here or somewhere
It'd be
else.
better on this end, because we've got two on that end. And then if everything.
See how the bids come out.
And then if later on, if you haven't done anything else, I'm sure there'll be another connector at the end of A second question is, when we resurface the taxiway, are we milling out and resurfacing, or are we just,
Some areas will be mill and resurface, and up from this end to a certain distance down will be a total, remove all the pavement, redo the stone stuff.
oh, we're going all the way down the base and then we do?
In some areas, it's gotta be rebuilt.
Is that because of widening or?
Well, some of, no, not really the widening, that was just the way the pavement and deterioration and the geotech showed some of those areas that up there that were in bad shape to do that. On that connector taxiway we were just speaking of, since it is a mandate from FAA, we're gonna pursue, saying, okay, this is the bid, and if it X amount of dollars more to build it, we're gonna go back and ask for more money. We'll work those when we get some hard numbers to deal with, and see how that works out.
Okay. Very good.
Any issues with the beacon? I know the last time we had a meeting, had someone,
Yeah, we just talked about that yesterday. Want to understand that you can't adjust the beacon on one side without doing the other side. You know, it's gonna be up or down. So if it's supposed to be level, and apparently it's level now. So what do you do?
well, the contractor sent us, and I forwarded it to Miles, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a schematic in there and a diagram showing you what you could do and how you could elevate it.
You have to go inside the lens, I think, and on the old ones, but I don't know if that's just enough there.
It looked pretty
I'm glad
simple.
for it, yeah.
It's just a matter of somebody having to go up there and do it and knowing what they're doing, but you can, there's set screws in there that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little roller coaster, so.
I guess
I figured that's-
maintenance supervisor could do that, Steve. Could Steve have to do that?
Yeah.
I would think so, whoever
Yeah,
changes
it's not
the
a-
bulbs or whatever, you know, do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody told me that it might be like it, and I said,
I'm gonna get that.
I've got a
Yeah.
picture of it and it didn't show it on it, so I was kind of concerned with.
Check your email, Miles, if I need to grab it again from the contractor when you send it, I can do that, but it looked like it.
We got through it. I think we got through it. I'll take it.
Okay.
I think the max is 10 degrees. I think that's the max vertical angle you can do it to, and it's not at 10 degrees right now. We thought it might be at level or.
So each one of them can be moved. Another impression that move one doesn't go the other one. But I don't understand, that wouldn't work too well. Why would you have it?
And maybe it's both sides. You can
Yes,
just
it has
go
to.
that way on both sides.
This is a little bit different, it's a different type of lot.
Any other questions for Jimmy? Okay, thanks for coming up and
Absolutely.
giving us an update.
Glad the weather and the roads were a little bit clear.
Yeah, right.
We still had school out in Charlotte today.
I mean, they didn't have it on school, did they?
One day into that.
Y'all had no snow with it, didn't you?
More ice, I think, than anything else. So some of the rural roads are still having been scraped. They froze last night. A little slip this morning.
Okay, let's look at agenda item number 7, camera installation, and Richard Rhodes has been working on that project. So Richard, if you would please address the board and give us an update.
Sure.
Go ahead. Excuse me.
The cameras and the DVRs are installed. We have Lester Ramey here today with us, the one that got the cameras.
Lester, glad to have you with us today.
And he can can answer all the questions, and we might even be able to look at it. We had one little issue with the internet here, which the upload was a little slow. Now, I don't know if we can do something about that, about getting something on the internet or what, but I figured Lester could kind of tell us a little bit what we need to do. And everything's working. Have we actually got the cameras where they can watch it up there on the, at the desk up there?
Not yet, okay.
We can open this right here.
do we
and
need
can
that?
actually see the cameras in there
Right,
now.
that's the cameras, there are 4, I'm not sure why that one's out, okay, maybe something unplugged, whatever, but, there's 4 cameras, there's 2 watching the runway, and then there's 2 on the other side of the building. And what we wanted to do was share those 2 runway cameras over the internet. Now, the problem with the internet is that the upload speed is far too slow, it was maybe like 1.9 meg upload. So when we logged in and get as guest 1, we can see 2 cameras, and that we don't need to see those. You don't need anybody to be able to see how many cars are on that side of in the parking lot, I don't think, do you?
No.
Okay. And, you can log on, as you can see, I just logged on with my phone, okay? I can tap it, then one camera come up, here's the runway. Okay, and you can zoom in, whatever, okay, that's through the software that comes with it, which is downloading out to your smartphone. But my computer's done the same way. Now, there's one option. I'm not sure that that's what we want, though. What we need to do is, if we can clarify, is what we want. Here's a camera now. Oh, by the way, I gotta relocate the 2 runway cameras to see the overhang of this one. Okay. I don't see any overhang. I don't see sky. So I'm gonna push it out about 4 more inches as soon as weather opens up. That's gonna be done. So we can log on with the app and the software through the internet, and we can log on as guest one, username, password, guest one, and it'll get us in there, and we can do whatever. You can't change the settings or anything, but you can view. But there's another way to do this, is make it a link on your website and either do the same thing, or we can make it just display those cameras there. If the provider of the internet allows that without an increase in the monthly rate of the internet. So I need the information, who does the website, and the internet company, and may have to get somebody to call and get authorization for me to talk to them, because a lot of times Frontier and these other companies, they won't talk to me if I'm not on the list.
Neil has talked to Frontier,
Okay.
and evidently the upload is a 1.6 megabyte upload.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what it's supposed to be now. Will that
Okay.
1.6 work?
It'll work for people logging in, at least 1 or 2 users. So we get more than that in there, and it's gonna slow down a lot. But we can be able to handle a couple of users.
If it had 2 users on there, say you had 2 pilots that went through the Chamber of Commerce and they clicked on it and they was looking at it. If another one got on, all we do is kick him off. Eventually he could get back on it.
Oh, absolutely. And the problem is, ain't nobody gonna sit there and look at that. That's kinda boring, you know? Yeah, you're not gonna be on there long, I don't think. You can see the sky, see the whatever.
Right.
But do we wanna try to make that a link? Or do we wanna make that a view on the website, or just a link? Don't really care. And who does the web, you got any website information? Who maintains the web page?
Tony Angel.
Okay, I'll need that, and work with them, make sure they put the right link on there.
Who is the website?
Tony Angel, media is a website.
Can we get that information before we get it to
Yeah.
the website?
I can, or whoever, Neil or myself can forward that.
Okay, so, in essence, we're not through yet, and it looks like I may be donating another camera. If I don't like the, I have to be happy too. If I'm not happy, it's gonna be redone, fixed, okay. So we gotta have faster internet one way or the other, faster than it was the other day. I have problems with that computer out there. It would show one camera and just stop, except that on my phone, do other stuff, other computers don't have a problem, but that one does, so I'm still working on that, to see what's wrong.
You reckon that computer could be a little slow, have so much
It's
stuff on it?
It's bad slow.
Can you clean it or something?
I've got a technician I use that's worked for me for 18 years, he's pretty good. But, he wanted to be on his own, so I couldn't do, but he does all my network, he's really good networking. If we need to, I'll get him to do it. And
Well,
you can do it remotely, you don't have to come up here to do it.
What I was thinking, I don't know what the other board members was thinking, but what I was thinking is you'd have one link at the Chamber of Commerce where pilots could get on there. If the board members, they could get that app on the phones, Neil could get the app on the phone, then they could look at the cameras anytime they wanted.
Sure. Now, I'm only gonna share, if you log in as guest one and username and password guest one, it's only gonna show you 2 cameras. There's no need to share the other
No.
users. I don't think so. It'd be better if people didn't know how many cards you have, I would think. Okay.
But
Just to
them
make sure I'm thinking the same way.
are recording all the
That's
time.
probably recording at least a month's worth of data, so if you want to go back and look. Now, if I take 2 of those cameras, runway cameras, and I stream those directly to the internet, I'm gonna furnish, I was donating a camera to put out there that's gonna be recording, so we're gonna be recording and also streaming. So I'm not quite through, we've gotta wait till this weather opens up, and being real cooperative when I've had a chance to get out there. And plus the internet speed, I can't do a lot till we get that speed up.
Lester, if you will, please explain to the board in layman's terms how this camera
system that we're setting up is gonna assist the jet pilots on the landing. That was, I think that was the objective to begin with, to help our jet pilots land.
I'm probably the last one you wanna ask, I do camera systems. Yeah.
That is not what the pilots wanted it for, was for landing. It's not for landing. What the pilots are wanting it for, if you had a jet pilot down in Florida down there, and he looked on his weather and it said, clouds was at 2,500 feet AWOS or something. A lot of times, if you could look at the camera, see the AWOS is right there, and you might have some clouds on top of that AWOS. He can dial in and look at the cameras, it might be clear over here. And he would know that in a little while this will be clear, even though AWOS is showing a low ceiling here. Or he might look up on that end and see nothing but blue. And if it does,
Would this be helpful?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
See, you can see the pattern altitude. Anybody that flies in here knows that 3,000 feet is pattern altitude out there. You can see it in the mountains right there and see that you're at pattern altitude. And if you find the hole, you
That
can
was our objective, what was that?
Yes, that's how it's gonna help the pilots. It's not actually on the landing part of it, it's actually knowing whether to get in the plane and come on or not. And that's,
It's 5 minutes at 100 feet here. Well, and then it starts breaking up, starts looking, that camera will show blue sky holes through it. Where by the time you fly here from wherever you're flying from, you can be relatively sure it's gonna be, at least be a hole big enough you could get in and land.
see, there've been many times I've called in here and called AWOS out here and it'd show 100 feet. Called something up at here at the airport, and if it was a pilot, I mean, it can't be just anybody, if it's a pilot, and say, oh yeah, it's breaking up over here on the other end. If you could see that, you knew that you could come on.
I see another thing too, is I can do this out.
See, that's awesome.
I mean, I can go in and I can look, see
See,
what's there.
if you
Now,
can't see the top of
do
the
they have
mountain,
internet access up there?
Huh?
Do the pilots have internet access?
What do you mean?
Can they access the internet?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay, I don't know.
See, a pilot could look at that right there, what you've got, Lester, see the mountains right there? You would know that's 3,000 feet, you got
Look at that while you're
3,000.
flying.
Huh?
You can look at that while you're flying.
Yeah, you can look at that while you're flying.
That's good, that's what we want.
I mean, this is awesome for,
This is the overhang.
it's just another tool to use with what you've got.
I bet he's not.
Why can't you-
They're not.
Front out there.
Florida's on one
Can't.
side, there's something.
You want people to know how many cars are here?
Well, I think Neil,
I bet Asheville.
I mean, no, that's no problem, all I gotta do is click, and you can see the front, have 4 cameras. If you wanna do 4 cameras, that's, I don't have a
We're gonna
problem.
have to think of
what happens, we might have to, I don't know what y'all would need, because when people come in, fly in, and they don't have, they
I don't
land,
know if you.
and then they can't get out, and get the car cranked, and they're at the gate, and the alarm goes off.
How you get that information?
Does that help y'all?
If you're not here at the
For
airport,
security.
tell people when they fly in.
No, because it's.
You could do it on the NOTAM, couldn't you put it on the NOTAM that you have
Because
cameras?
it's spirit box on the way,
I can display
but
that.
you can see,
I can display that, if
Do
you wanna
that.
go in and see
It's
if,
a legal thing.
see if you want me to go in the airport directory.
huh?
You can go in the airport directories.
Oh, yes, you can put it in there, put it directly.
It'll take 6 months to get it. It'll take 6 months to
Do you
get it.
wanna share that as well? All 4
Well, let's
No,
copy there, see what he thinks.
well, we don't wanna share the front, we wanna share with the pilots, they don't even know what's up front there. That's just for for the airport themselves to keep an eye on. If somebody come out here and stole the car, you'd have it on,
So you still have it.
you'd have it recorded in here, we could give it to the sheriff's department, and they could go get who got the car.
That's correct.
So the alarm is gonna be good enough for you. You don't need the visual. The alarm will be good enough for you for the parking lot.
The alarm is my
They're
alarm in the
separate
parking
systems.
lot.
Well, I understand that.
The discussion is whether it's important to have the 2 cameras active in the parking lot.
They climb over the
For
fence
the
out
public.
there. So they climb over the fence.
More secure.
Goes over this way.
They climb over the fence. Yeah. You get on the other side, they turn it off.
See, that's another thing, I'd like to see one of these days, I'd like to see for us to put a push button gate out there at the main thing out there. 'Cause see, we're getting more pilots that's flying at night. And as we improve this airport, you're gonna get more pilots coming in here in the evening and stuff. So we need to be concentrating on the gate out here at the main gate that's a push button. That way you can tell who's coming in, and then eventually you might want to put another camera out there. Like a lot of airports there have a camera out there where they push the button in, they can see who coming in and stuff like that. Because eventually you're gonna get this airport to where people can come in anytime and take off and land anytime. Because that'd be the whole idea of it, so it'd be available anytime.
If we get the WASP approach, you will see more nighttime flying.
Oh, yes. You ever get that, they'll be coming in here at night all the time. See, a lot of businessmen, during the days when they're doing their business, and that's an important time, they don't want to be flying up here during that time they're conducting business. But if you got WASP in here, and you take somebody from Tampa, Florida, that comes up here and it takes them an hour and 15 minutes, as soon as they get off work, they're going to come on up here, and if they got WASP coaches, they're going to land here. You're going to see a lot of that in the night. You're going to see more probably night flying than you are during the day. And that's where we need to, I feel like, that you need to kind of be looking ahead and getting this all fixed up with cameras, a front gate up there with push button where you don't have to get out. I got locked in there one time without my glasses and couldn't even see the combination. It took me an hour to finally get it.
A typical gate operating system would allow any one free exit. You pull up to it, as you get close, it triggers, sense the vehicle, it's a magnetic sensor in the ground, sense the vehicle, and open the gate. That's typical. And coming in, either clickers or a code, or we can do windshield recognition, or vehicle recognition.
See, Lester puts gates in all the time. He puts them up around the Highlands area and Cashers area all the time. And I think you can actually get where you can have different codes on it, where you can kind of let know if it's the public coming in, or use different codes, like if it's somebody working here or something like that.
It keeps the transaction history if you want to know who come in last week, or a month ago, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's going to show you which code was used.
Very good. That's I think, great step forward.
So back to cameras is, we're not through yet.
Thank you.
So why is that monitor, why do we have to have that monitor in there?
Well, that monitor works directly with that DVR server, the back and forth on it, so that's pretty much what we do.
That's what I thought.
Now, we are going to put remote access on this right here, on the front desk, the desk, it'll have remote access, so we'll be seeing those 4 cameras. Once we get the computer cleaned up and the internet speed a little faster.
Well, that'd be good if somebody's setting up, they can see who's pulling in up here. If something was happening that you didn't want to happen, you would see it before they got in here.
Right.
Or if something happened out on the runways or something, you would see it before, if you're sat in there.
I think that's money well spent for the airport. Don't you think so, Neil?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Lester, for your contribution.
No, thank y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you very much. We appreciate you coming to our meeting.
You want me to hang around?
That's up to you. I don't think anybody else, does anyone have another question for Lester? If not,
I'm gonna continue also to work and make it just as simple as I can right now.
Yeah, you need to make it simple.
Okay, I like simple. Yes, you can log in from home. Once you get the internet speed up, right now, one person can log in, it'll show 1 camera, 2 cameras. I don't know what happened, that 1 camera came back. But, if you see on those 2 left cameras that we're seeing part of the building, I'm gonna eliminate that this next week. I don't see any building, I don't see cloud.
That's what you see on the video. You can actually see it. You can get it at night.
It should be pretty good on this side, because we've got plenty of light up there. These are low light cameras, they are infrared, but the infrared's not gonna reach, 200 yards out there, 300 yards, let's use special cameras. But, you can see, I can see all the runway lights, but I can't see probably what you see in the naked eye is what you're gonna see. And it's probably gonna be better than that on this side. So you'll be able to tell people, identify them, kind of tag numbers. No, these aren't tag number cameras, but there's other things we can do if you ever need to get tag numbers. There's a way to do that.
What's the maximum cameras that you put up there?
No problem going up to 64. That's okay. We'll just replace that MVR with a slightly larger one. But there's when we look at Vegas, there's no limit.
Then the screen just rotates.
Generally I like them fixed, but just as sure as you start watching one, that scene rotates off, you watch somebody come through, and then you have to go back and play it, to see what they did. Play the recording, but I like to explain that, if I need more cameras, I'll put, 20 or so on this one, 20 or so on that one, no problem. This facility, I can see it in time having at least 8, probably a 16 camera server. And they typically come in from 4, 2, 4, up to 8, up to 16, up to 24, 48, 64.
Have you been able to send your bill to us? I mean, you got
I think I've already been paid.
Oh, okay.
So,
Better be.
yeah, well, I don't know, but I think I am, that's what I feel bad.
Well, that's good.
But it doesn't matter, you get the same service either way.
Oh, I know,
Okay.
I know you do.
Okay.
And we appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Say one, don't hesitate.
Come back, see us.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 8, it's time of year for us to get a budget request together for the county commissioners. And I think they had their first meeting budget session this afternoon. So we need to get busy here and get our request in for them. And, so Pete, you're the daddy rabbit of our budget request, so lead off.
Since the finance officer didn't come today, only thing I can do is look at the percentages that we've done so far, and actually, we're running target for some reason. We're not over. Expenditures, fuel costs is way down on propane. I don't understand why, but we keep filling it up, and it's about half of what it was last year. So that's going to help us out a whole lot. Utility bill with the power, it's with the beacon up there, it's jumped about $80 a month. Just by running that, getting that thing back up and operating. That one went from $23 to $80 a month. And that's the beacon plus the observation line. And then LEDs didn't bring it down a whole lot after I run them because of the box.
Oh, because of the box.
It's running back through the same system module there, apparently. You're thinking it was coming up, but they said, that's what the guy told me when he put it in. He said he might not bring it down as much as you think.
It's just really, where you gain on the LEDs is just over the life cycle of the system. It doesn't take that much maintenance, so you're not replacing bulbs and things of that nature.
Well, he said the module was still, the voltage is still the same thing, the amperage is down, but the voltage is still the same thing. So when they change it all over, he said it should bring it down. So
It may,
hopefully,
I
I hope so.
I know you don't need you can reduce the size of the regulator when you put in LED lights. For instance, if you have to run up a 10 meg regulator for your quartz or halogen lights, you wouldn't have to. Logic would say you should.
Okay, we need some input from the board members on our budget request. Anybody got
On that beacon, is it running all the time?
No, not in the daytime. It's on the photo set. Because it's only got a 500 watt high pressure setting. It's not a high pressure setting. I think it might be a high pressure setting. It's just a bulb. It's just a regular bulb. It's not like the old beacons we had special. So it's a $25 bulb. Might use a little bit more power than the other one. I don't see a whole lot. Insurance has been paid. This will be an increase for this year. We have the maintenance fee on this operation fee. See anything new we've got coming on this year that we didn't have last year?
one thing I think we need to consider is cutting grass and weeds, multiple roads, and around the outside the fence. Typically, that's all we need to do. I thought two different ways to do it. We hire somebody on a part-time basis to do it, or else we just get a contract.
We just did a contract, so we had to do it
Several times a year, twice a month, once a month at least, and then present that to the commission, see if we can.
We'd like to provide it to our personnel.
I I think it's good to be contracted. I think,
Yeah.
just get somebody contracted, so
It's
somebody.
less liability.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, you should go back and say, hey, redo it or something. I think we ought to have somebody to contract on the landscape of the front, so where you don't get grown up with weeds and everything else, and where it's split out.
Hold all that.
Now you gotta go to the We're on zero. We balance out zero. What little money we have left for fund balance, I hope we get the building.
I got a question.
I'm just gonna suggest that we just develop a project, quotes for ground maintenance, present, put it in our budget. Because we go through this every year.
Every year, yeah.
Problem, you're right, exactly, just hope that you put it together and make sure we can. They improved a lot of things that don't come with money.
Well, now,
Jimmy Tate, give us some.
Okay.
I'm with Tommy, I mean, put it in there, I mean,
we contract out with the business development.
oh, yeah, understand.
That'd be the only way to go. Who wants to take on that project? Anybody want to volunteer to do that? I should,
Mr. Chairman.
I should rephrase that question.
Why there?
You're good at getting estimates with you. Man, do that since you're up there. Go, Jimmy, you might get, Jimmy to give us.
I could talk to Jimmy about that.
Would you do that?
Is that all we're talking about?
We're talking about taking care of all the mowing.
And he wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Well, he mowed the grass, though.
All this?
No, I'm just talking about landscaping right around here and then around the outside of the fence in particular.
Well, I can ask him about it, I don't know if he's.
Okay.
Well, if you don't say he asked it in the landscaping, is all he does, I mean, there's some other people mows.
Oh, yeah, it's plenty of people.
What we're thinking is request for proposal. We need to define what we want and just draw it up and make several of these guys.
Stay inside the fence here at the term where it's not go out beyond there, because you're looking at major costs.
Oh, he's gonna know that.
County's mowing that.
And we don't wanna lose that.
They're doing a good job on it, I mean, they have here lately.
Yeah, they've done well last year.
Yeah.
It's the best year they've had.
And the only other thing you've got to contract out is around the fence line itself. Which
Well, they do that too,
Who the
except
county-
we need to clean the banks and do that ourselves. Yeah.
Last year, they didn't have time to do it. I think that.
We got busy out there at the ball for out there.
I think we ought to go ahead and our proposal and include cleaning the fence.
Yeah, I think so.
But the fence beyond the fence, they mowed around the fence.
Well, whoever's in charge of spraying and making sure the fence.
They do that, the county does that, they got the 3-wheeler that goes by there and
We fell behind last year.
now they did, I mean, but they came back and did it. They did out here too. So, you put it in the proposal.
on, if the wrong fence when I went out. I knew it was that day.
They never run the lights, too, run that, right?
Yeah. Some of
The other ones, they run over.
them. Yes, that's another story. We haven't found it yet.
Yeah,
Light is missing. It's gone.
I think we need to make a request, in the form of, make a proposal, let me rephrase that, to get a bid on cutting the grass from an individual contractor.
You're saying that out on the road?
Outside the fence, and that in front of the terminal here, and also these planters here in front. They go up, they get to look at the trouble.
Well, they need to be changed out.
So we need to, include that, in this
in this proposal, and request it, we find how much it's gonna cost us, then we can make a request to the commissioners and see if they will.
This thing, we've had two people give us the bids to do all this here before, you know, came in and
Let's
did
get
the most of
this,
it.
let's get it, let's,
We've had it before, so.
for the record, let's go ahead and get a motion on the floor and get it passed. We'll get
All we
that
really
fixed.
need is a number to put in there for a budget, is what we're after right now. And then when it comes time to do it, we can hire whoever to do it. Just as long as we've got enough money in there to do it.
Yeah. But we need to know how much to ask for.
Yeah, well, it'd be good to have an idea. Yeah.
Here's, and this is the bill, and part of the summary, it's $1,000 per month. This
Who's
is
that for?
county. Yeah. Really good.
They're charging, they never charged us before, though. Or they have.
Yeah.
Some put it on the bill.
Okay, the chair will
But that's
entertain a
another- I
motion.
mean, that's-
Let's get this
But,
thing going.
remember this, right now, we're just.
Yeah, I'm with you. I get it. Chair will entertain a motion that we get some bids on doing the one that we described, to be able to make a request to the county commission for money to do it.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, here's
I'll
a second.
second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no, the motion carries. Unanimous. Okay, now, the next thing we're gonna do is get somebody, you know somebody, you can get people.
Well, he's done it before, but we just call him when we want it done. But he can,
Yeah, but I mean.
I've got several people that probably will do it.
Yeah,
Give us a bid, that's all we need, we're gonna have to have 3 bids.
So we don't have much to ask.
So we need to probably have it inside and outside, 2 different bids. Okay, we'll discuss it.
Yes.
We'll discuss it and see what we can come up with.
We don't have to put flowers and stuff like that, scrubbers, they all got trim on them. Yeah.
This is one of the most.
I question, and that's the thing, okay. Pete's gonna get some figures for us.
If Jimmy takes one, come around and do one, it'll be fine too.
Well,
We get
it's like
4 or 5.
I just said to Ricky, Jimmy could give us a number, even if he can't do
What?
the job, he
Yeah.
could say, it should cost you about this much. That would be something that we could put in our budget.
Yeah.
I would,
We could have 2 numbers to consider.
Yeah, the more, you know,
The more the better.
and
So we're
like the
fair.
landscape part, we ought to look at putting some shrubs and stuff in the landscape, there's something that we can trim and not have no flowers, no upkeep and stuff.
well, that's something we have to design, that'd be a one-time deal.
Well, that's what these landscapers do.
Well, I know, it. That's what would be good, to have him design it for us and say, because he would not charge us for it, right?
Okay, let's look at agenda item number
He's got no record, right?
9, terminal
He's a good guy.
building maintenance. Neil, do you have any problem with maintenance? I understand you had a leak here just recently.
Last time Pete looked at it and did some magic on it, and since that, the roof has been okay.
All right, well, yeah, he's good at putting magic on it.
Yeah,
You gotta look at it when it's raining, though. You
The
can't
only
find one
other
when
thing-
it's sunshine.
the only other thing that comes to mind is 2 of the flags out front are shredding.
How about the heat pumps? Are they working okay?
They got this unit working, they had to order a part for the second unit.
The county's doing this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They also
Yeah,
give us,
Kenneth came out last week. That guy is really good.
that's what we had to do last year, caught us by surprise, we got $3,000. We didn't know that, but we're willing to pay for it if we have to.
Other business.
One of these days, we're gonna have to do something with this floor in here, with these tiles coming up. Underneath these windows and stuff like that water's leaking, where they built that, put them windows right down on that, on the slab there, and water comes in there and it's getting underneath this tile. So one of these days, we're gonna have to do something about replacing that tile, might even look in like have a walkway from that door to that door out of that brick stuff right there, where a lot of traffic is, and maybe put carpet where that, how it is, cause
Jimmy, can we use that Vision 100 monies or the discretionary funds to do that?
Doesn't cover
We
the
used to-
maintenance.
we used to
They
build
built your
buildings.
brand new on the building, but they won't put you down.
oh, we gotta build a new building?
That's the way it is, you know.
Okay.
But they wouldn't consider that would be a maintenance type.
I just asked.
Anytime you put vinyl on concrete, plus.
Yeah, that's something.
It's gonna come up like that. But I think you need something, you know, that's traffic heavy between the doors, like, they've started brick roads.
I will
now.
make it a point to get somebody to give us, I get a couple of bids on it. I have come and look at it and see what we can do to fix that. And I'll have that ready for the next meeting. Any other business? Neil, you happy?
We're happy.
Making a lot of money?
No,
Not bad.
not this time of year though.
Well, the other day when I landed in here, there was, what, 6 planes that come in here? I mean, that's pretty good when you see it.
I'd say it is.
I mean, it's beginning to be all the time, it's just not every other week, it's, I mean, all the time we're getting planes in here, people that's coming in here to, go to visit, and some to stay, and some looking at building houses and stuff, so. This is attracting a lot of people to the area, which will help the economy of Macon County. And that is, it's very encouraging when you go to other places and you see how the economy, the other places, and then you come to this place right here and you see this tarmac, I mean, when it's full of planes and everything like that, and people coming into it.
You had to wait in line for gas yesterday.
Yeah, I had to wait in line.
Didn't use your influence.
They wouldn't pay me no attention. Matter of fact, they told me to go back
When
in
are
line.
you gonna talk the sheriff out of that fuel truck?
We're gonna have, we're gonna keep on talking, we're gonna get that.
We don't know what the definition of no is.
No, we don't, we're gonna get that, I think we ought to go get him about 2 5-gallon cans, and we could start a fuel truck.
Just on that aspect, jet fuel was the last, October, November, December, it was 9,300 gallons. So that's probably pretty good for that time of year for the last quarter. I mean, that's an increase.
If we had a fuel truck, we would probably double it, because a lot of them are single point fuel, and he cannot fuel those, jets. So if he's selling 9,000 gallons of Jet A, I guarantee if we had a fuel truck with single point, the people coming in here would actually buy some fuel to help the county, because they would love to do that. Some of these big jets come here, but we can't fuel them because we don't have single point. And you would probably, we're talking about a lot of income that's gonna come into the county, plus airport, plus Neal. I mean, it's gonna help everybody.
And it helps the FPO as
Joe, you
far
was
as,
gonna talk
liability.
to the sheriff about that.
I did.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I talked to Sheriff, he sent me to Andy Shields, who we all know, love Andy. I had a little memo that I worked up, about the county has only one tanker at its disposal rather than 2, and is being used at this time. Even if the tanker was available under the guidelines, the state would not allow a transfer from a government entity to the authority. Mr. Shields suggested that there's an online government services administration which oftentimes lists items such as this for sale. Yeah, basically Andy says if there ain't 2 is 1, and even if we could transfer it, they wouldn't let us transfer it or whatever, but, yeah.
Who wouldn't let? Who wouldn't let?
Andy says that the state would not allow a transfer from a government entity to, I guess, to an authority.
Transfer over here from the bar.
Well, it's still be a transfer, though.
But don't you think if in fact it would amount to that much more fuel services, fuel sales, that the provider of the fuel would be willing to, in some ways, work out a sweetheart deal on enough?
Well, they probably would for, you know, you paying the rent on a vehicle, I mean, but they're not just gonna give you a vehicle.
They're not gonna give it to you, no, but
At least it.
But as a stopgap, I mean, as a measure to get it started, even if it turned out you weren't making a whole lot more money but could offer the service, it may be worthwhile to get to see if that provider
We
of
can
the
talk to
fuel
the
could,
provider and see.
I mean, you could always, at any point in the future, whenever the finances or the circumstances were available, switch to have your own. But if it's a matter of, you know, there's one thing about money, another thing about the service. But if you weren't losing money by having it available for that extra service, you want more, the end result is you want more traffic.
Right.
As much as anything. So I would, you know, that would be, I would think it would be some place to look at who's providing the fuel.
Is that through the state or is it through the federal program?
Federal state surplus. Because the federal surplus is where they're getting theirs, is run by the state.
Congressman said, please break something loose.
I would think it could.
We talked to Mark and see. Well, I talked to Mark one time about it, and they were looking for us for that. And, do some of the surplus stuff. But he had a man that was, on it, trying to find this woman. He was not having no luck. But he said he was gonna talk to Robbie, and I haven't heard nothing back. I'll give him a call to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we
He
can.
probably forgot about it.
He probably has.
I don't understand where they're coming from.
I
But
don't
we
know.
do it all
Yeah,
the
that's
time.
what.
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't even transfer it to Macon County, to the county itself, and the county could let us use it.
I mean, you know, all
These
they
ways,
have to pay.
these ways, I think. it can
Well,
be done.
yeah,
I don't know why the sheriff passed it. to begin with.
Yeah, how did he get it?
I know how he got it, and I understand what they're gonna do with it, but that's passed now, and it just sits there. But that's up to them, I mean, they own it now, so, you know.
Looks like they would
They don't use it.
Unless they remove
take
It's
their
never been
liability away.
Diesel's gonna ruin it if they don't use so much
Oh,
for a
it's
while.
already turned black. It's still good, but it's good.
From jail
But,
That's a real critical need for us here.
It-
in the tank.
the main thing is a backup if this system here goes down. And this system here could go down anytime. This is something we've gotta repair out there.
Well, I know for a fact that some of the big jet people that's coming in here would, out of courtesy, buy fuel from Neil if it was available, just to help the county. I mean, they do that all over. Usually when they go into places like that, they like to buy some fuel just to help out the area. But if it's not available to them, they're gonna go on over to Asheville or over to Knoxville or
And-
something like that.
In your travel and Gary's travel around locally, is there any other airport that has a single point fueling truck?
Oh, all of them do. That's what,
Does Andrews Murphy got have one?
I don't know about them. Every other one that I go to, they put you on the line, and they don't fill you even at the, here, they come out, you fill out a paper, you tell them what you want, and they go to you. See, it does that on the insurance also. So you don't have to move the planes around or anything else, they're out on the line, and they go to them and fill it.
I can't understand why we can't get one. It just
But
wasn't
who,
low.
yeah, let me ask you, who actually owns those trucks in Nashville?
In Nashville, most of them are the fuel companies like what Joe's talking about. You can rent them from some of those fuel companies.
Okay, but
Well,
who,
let me ask this.
go ahead, I think you want something.
If you were to lease one, who would be responsible for leasing it? The authority, the FBO?
I don't know what the contract is, but
One of the conditions I had, if we owned it, we're gonna have to pay the insurance on it. We're gonna have to put it in a storage area. It's gonna be placed in a storage area, it's supposed to. I don't know how many do it, but it's supposed to be. And we'd have to go back.
who
and ask
owns
for
these
more.
tanks out here?
We own these. Neil
Okay.
owns that.
He just owns the pumps.
That's ours.
Well,
We got-
basically, I mean, if it ups the fuel sales, I mean, it's gonna be beneficial to both parties. So we might have to come to some agreement between the two of us in order to make it feasible for them.
Yeah, we should make enough to at least cover our costs.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Just,
And,
we just have to put it
And
in
I don't
budget.
think Neil would be, I mean, he don't have to answer that, I don't think he would be against, if we had something like that, if we was able to recoup our costs, plus up the sales of it, it would help him also. I mean, there ought to be some kind of agreement that we can come to if we're gonna go that route, to be able to be, it's gonna have to be a balance for both parties. It can't just be one-sided. In other words, I mean, if we're going to improve.
Everybody needs to win.
Well, yeah.
Why don't we don't even know.
Most of them, the fuel companies.
No, I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can find out some, costs, maybe what that's me.
Just talk to someone out there for it, and find out who lives, what kind of,
Did you get a call?
If you call the fuel supplier, we're getting ready to do a ramp that we have at Asheboro Airport, and it's gonna displace the FBO and their fueling capability. She's called to see what it's gonna take for them to get an avgas truck for 90 days, and it's about $700 and some dollars a month. So you're probably looking at, I'd say $650 to $800 a month at least.
If we go that route, we're really gonna have to have two trucks. You're gonna have to have one for avgas, and you're gonna have to have one for Jet A. Because if you go this route, then you would probably want to quit fueling down here because of the liability and everything else. And, so you're probably looking for around $1,400 a month, somewhere in that neighborhood. Now, I could call some of the fuel companies, see if they would work a deal out. I mean, but he's got the fuel now. It's gonna be hard for us to work a deal out with the fuel unless we all come to agreement on something.
But we won't come to agreement unless we start down that road, so let's go ahead and start.
Well, they give us something to start with.
Yeah.
And one thing, when you do lease a vehicle, that fuel supplier typically will maintain the filters and everything, and if a truck happens to go down, they're gonna bring you another one.
Yeah, that's
It's not
a
like
big
you're gonna be out of service.
What is the normal size, tank-wise, of it?
3,000 gallons, I
How
think
many?
it is.
3,000?
I think that's right.
Or two.
How much
Between
would
two
it
and
cost
three.
to buy a new?
I have no clue.
The avgas usually is about 1,000 gallons.
$1,400
Yeah.
a month.
I don't think at this airport, I don't think you would need over 1,000 gallon avgas, 2,000 Jet A, because you got these tanks that you can fill out
Well,
of.
that's what we did before. When we had those trucks temporarily. We would just fuel the truck here, and then we could go down the ramp and fuel the aircraft.
So you can put a lot more planes in there doing that. Liability's down a whole lot, and you don't sell
Can
a
we
lot.
use that discretionary money to buy it? I think we went down this road before, but I mean, it'd be worth asking.
The last figure I heard as far as a monthly lease,
Andrew,
you're looking at $700 plus per month.
Per truck, just so forth.
That's on a lease basis.
that go a long way, you'll make the payments on a truck.
Could you justify a business model paying $700 out of your model?
I'd have to crunch the numbers.
Yeah.
Because the way our setup is now, I don't own any of the fuel system, but we pay contractually a percentage of our fuel sales for the use of that facility. And the truck would just be an extension of that facility.
So you'd have to estimate how much extra volume you could do, and then what the profit would be, and whether that would cover enough.
What if, like in the springtime, if we decide to do this and we could work with Neil on this, what about in the springtime when the traffic starts getting heavy here? Is we look at these numbers, and if it's pretty close, why not try a month or so? And see if it ups the revenue up on the fuel, and then we can work with Neil on that, and then we both be winners. You know, we would be able to make some on it, he would be able to make some on it, plus we would have the trucks and up the volume on it. But I would think it would be springtime would be the best time to kind of do this, wouldn't you, Neil?
Spring, summer, and fall.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna find out how much your sales can increase in 90 days.
In 90 days, you should know. And then what we would do, and I know that Neil could do this because he talks to a lot of the jet people here. When they come in here, we just offer them, we've got a better price on the fuel than anybody else. So if we've got it, they're gonna buy it. And we'll just advertise, tell them, hey, we need a little fuel sales here. And a lot of them, they'll get it, they'll do it, just to help us out. Because they like this airport. I mean, a lot of them like this airport.
Well, that's something we need to work on. We can't give up on it.
No.
We gotta keep pushing. We'll get a truck somewhere around.
Yeah.
if we do that, we need to figure pretty close, get this in the budget for next year. Especially with landscaping, it's gotta be in the budget to be submitted. It's gotta be submitted in April, I think something like that. So,
If we enter into a lease agreement on something, is that under the county?
that's something to pay for. It's something like that.
Oh, yeah, 'cause we don't actually get any revenue, it goes to.
Indirectly, we would.
Indirectly, but it goes to the county.
No,
It comes to that, so we put in the lease agreement.
Yes. Neil, how much you pay the party on, over 100,000 gallons of sales of fuel?
I'd have to look at the numbers to refresh me, but
it's a ballpark.
the contractual payment is really a two-part. First of all, on the fuel, based on, the sales, we pay 2%. That amount far exceeds the other portion of the payment, which is, maintenance, rent, hangar rent, that kind of stuff. But the fuel sales is the driving force.
It's a moneymaker.
And I'm by several $1,000s. You would have a copy of that last, payment?
Yep.
And the number should be there.
What kind of numbers on it?
Just put $17,000 or $18,000 more in budget for this, we can reach it, no problem.
Like the way you said that, it's pretty quick. I'll write that down.
Put it out there.
You know, in some of these fuel companies, we could go to them and tell them, say, look, we're wanting to see how this works and everything, and I'm sure someone would work with us on it if they had some.
Eastern Aviation,
Yeah.
which is our supplier, would be more than happy to talk
See,
about
and
that.
they probably wouldn't obligate us for a year or so for a lease,
Yeah.
so just to see if we could make it work, they would probably work with us on the lease.
I go on with that.
And if we can make it work in 90 days, let's go for it.
Let's start
And
somewhere.
I'm on very good terms with them right now, because I just recommended Andrews Murphy, switch their supplier to, Eastern Aviation Fuels. I also suggested WK Dixon, they're looking.
Eddie Babs, you know Eddie Babs.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Rep, I know Eddie very
I'll
well.
call Eddie and see what he can do.
And Neil, since you're so closely involved, since you're so closely involved with the company, how about getting some figures, some information for our next
To
meeting?
me, that's a win-win. I
Sure,
love
yeah,
that.
we're all for that.
I had a couple of thoughts. We're talking about 2 trucks. Do we really need one for, avgas and jet fuel? Or is it mostly just the jet fuel?
I think if you're gonna go this route with a truck, you need to go that route and do 2 trucks. That way you can park everything on the line and you can fill it and do away with this down here, because it's a traffic jam down here.
Logistics and liability.
Yes.
And
Because the
I do
insurance
think,
is a lot more on the plane.
Eastern Aviation would be willing to give us a contract for like, we say 6 months or 9 months.
I'll call
And
Eddie
then
back
we'll know after
tomorrow.
that whether it's gonna.
I know they do Wilkes County right now, so they do quite a few. I'm not sure who.
Okay, Neil, if you will, please, sir, you'll get some information for the board on,
I'd be glad to.
on that, and we'll kick it around some more at our next meeting.
Yeah, see if we can do like a 90-day test pilot
Yeah.
program or something.
Yeah.
They'll charge you a freight charge to bring them out, and then it's X amount.
There's some people that I can get from
The question is, can you burn the air fuel in the truck, or do you have to send it into town to refill it?
No, you do it here.
I mean, it's not the same fuel you can run in an internal combustion
Yeah.
truck engine, is it?
Sure, if it's a diesel. Runs a lawnmower.
I don't know.
Okay.
Not supposed to, but.
it's probably refined oil for airplane.
Okay, is any other business?
I move we adjourn.
You a second?
I said,
Thanks for everybody.
I'm just thinking we're gonna use a 6 months contract. The spring and summer, those are our busiest months, and they got